Remain vigilant regarding your sister. Do not treat these words as a casual warning or a fleeting impression. This is not born of human suspicion, nor is it an emotional reaction without weight. What you are receiving is not the echo of human concern, but a word straight from the throne of heaven. It is a divine alarm, a sacred trumpet sounding in the spiritual realm, a message too urgent to remain unspoken. An angel has been stirred to reveal what has remained hidden in the shadows. I speak to you now, beloved, not to provoke fear or distrust, but to unveil what has been concealed and to guard what has been divinely entrusted to you since before your first breath. Do not take this as mere advice, but as a key handed to you in a moment of fire, a revelation that could determine the difference between protection and devastation. You, who still sense the voice of heaven, who believe in divine intervention, who have refused to let your faith die despite the storms, hear this now. This is not the sound of paranoia or personal emotion. This is the voice of destiny speaking over your life. Heaven has been tracking your every step, collecting your tears, watching your sleepless nights, and the time to act has come. For the enemy has woven a plan quietly, a design of deception crafted away from the light. And in this plan, someone from within your own circle, a person tied to you by blood, has become an unwitting instrument. It is your sister. This revelation is not given to wound or divide, but to awaken, to ready you for what lies ahead. Heaven does not speak without purpose, and today, that purpose is preservation. Stay grounded, stay discerning, and let my wisdom guide your next steps. For this message is not a burden, it is a lifeline. Yes, it is the very one you still view through the gentle lens of childhood, the one you've silently protected, the one you've repeatedly defended, convinced that her intentions were always pure. But I, the one who searches the heart and perceives beyond outward appearances, tell you this: not everything that looks like love is rooted in truth, and not all that wears the garment of religion is free from hidden motives. The angel assigned to you has now stepped forward to deliver this word at a critical hour, just as what has been concealed begins to stir and surface. A scheme is unfolding quietly behind your back, shaped in secrecy, its motives having shifted without your notice. You still find comfort in familiar expressions, still trust in the sincerity of certain gestures, but I reveal to you now that those very things no longer carry the innocence they once held. This revelation is not given to break your heart, but to open your eyes. It is not meant to lead you to condemnation, but to alignment, to draw you into discernment, and to preserve what I have entrusted into your hands. Many of the delays and wounds you've endured came from placing trust in hearts no longer aligned with your calling, from clinging to what I have already instructed you to release, from covering what has quietly become an entryway for the adversary. Hear me now with undivided attention. Your sister is not operating alone. This is not a result of fleeting pain or a moment of weakness. It is part of a larger design. There is another, an older woman who wears the mask of righteousness, who uses spiritual language while harboring long-standing jealousy. She has taken the role of hidden influencer, speaking under the veil of counsel, guiding your sister in a direction not born of my spirit. Her methods are subtle, her tone composed, her words laced with false wisdom. She works not with loud defiance, but with soft manipulation, twisting what is sacred, crafting strategies with quiet precision. Not all poison is bitter. Sometimes it is delivered through the warmth of a hug, through a carefully spoken blessing, through words that mimic prayer but carry intention contrary to mine. Yet I, the everlasting God, your vigilant Father who guards your destiny while you rest, will not permit the enemy to overtake what I have assigned to your life. This is your moment to rise in wisdom, to stay anchored in me, and to allow my Spirit to lead your every step from this point forward. I have dispatched the Archangel Michael on your behalf. His sword is drawn, his position secured between you and the betrayal that seeks to reach you. He is sealing off routes you once believed were yours to take. He is dismantling the strategy of darkness before it fully takes shape. He is illuminating spaces where deception once thrived in silence. But this divine intervention still requires your participation. I cannot carry out this protection without your alignment. You must respond swiftly to my voice. You must stop defending what I am now bringing into the light. What you've called loyalty had been rooted in denial. What you've labeled love is entangled in manipulation. What you thought was mercy has become silent agreement with destruction. I love you far too deeply to let you walk headfirst into disaster without sounding the alarm. I love you enough to bring this warning now before the heartbreak, before the fall, before the tears. I speak not with thunder, but with a heavenly strategy designed to save. That is why these words come now, with force and urgency, yet wrapped in mercy. Do not close your heart to this word. Do not shrug it off with, "It's just fear talking," or "She could never do such a thing." Don't lean on phrases you've repeated to protect your peace while the enemy masks himself in false affection. This is not the hour for silence, it is the hour for sharp discernment. Open your spiritual eyes. Be unwavering. Evaluate the fruit, not the face. Don't call something a blessing when it's been poisoning your roots. Stay grounded, don't look away from this moment. This may be the final warning before consequences take hold that cannot be undone. I, the Lord your God, speak this word not to expose you to shame but to cover you with truth and shelter. Answer me with a humble heart, and I will turn this battlefield into a testimony of triumph. If only you will obey, if only you will surrender to the sound of my direction. My child, this is not just another word, it is a message saturated with eternity, a truth sealed with divine urgency, a revelation that can no longer wait to be spoken. What I am about to unveil to you goes beyond a mere caution, it is a divine command. This is a defining moment where destinies are cemented, and yours, my beloved child, is not subject to negotiation. I have not surrendered your future to human decision, to randomness, or to the judgment of those who cannot grasp the blueprint I intricately designed for you before your very first breath. My angels are already positioned, encircling you with precision and moving with purpose. A covering from heaven is descending now, cloaking your surroundings, sealing every opening where betrayal tried to slip through. A pure and radiant light, my own, now penetrates the places once dim, exposing the shadows where you once tolerated what should have been cast out, where you justified what should have been rebuked with courage. You pleaded for the truth, cried out to me in secret, asking for clarity when confusion wrapped around your heart like fog. You asked for eyes to see, and now I answer. This is the truth. Not easy, not soothing, but sacred. It is the response to your honest desperation. This is what you asked for in the dark hours, and now I shine it before you. Do not fall again into the arms of illusion. Do not let sentiment veil your vision. Your sister has chosen her path. She walked corridors unknown to you. She lent her ear to voices I did not send. She opened her heart to counsel tainted with jealousy and deception. And though your heart yearned to see only what was good, though you searched her gestures for glimpses of who she once was, I tell you now the grace window for this situation has closed. It is time for you to choose. Guard your heart. Listen to me. Stand in prayer. Move with discernment. What lies ahead is unlike anything you've known. It will not echo the pain of the past. It will be righteous, sacred, and undeniably yours, an inheritance marked by my hand alone, and none will be able to steal it. I declare it not from emotion or urgency, but from the authority of my eternal decree, and what proceeds from my mouth cannot be overturned. I do not speak without cause, nor do I issue warnings without divine purpose. So says the Lord, stay alert concerning your sister. Be discerning. Be gentle but resolute. For too long, you equated strength with silence, maturity with tolerating injury, and love with enabling what was harming you. In your sincere heart, you confused mercy with passivity, but now I call you to clarity. You believed it was virtuous to remain silent, to close your eyes and withhold your voice in the name of unity, to preserve relationships and maintain what appeared to be peace. But the peace you clung to was not my peace. It was a fragile ceasefire, crafted and manipulated by the enemy to keep you bound. It gave the appearance of stillness, but its foundations were hollow. You convinced yourself that staying quiet was an act of love, that overlooking warning signs was an act of faith. But I, your heavenly Father, come to speak now with both compassion and urgency. The kind of strength you adopted was not always rooted in my wisdom. Yes, there are moments when silence protects, when restraint is a shield. But there are also times when silence invites destruction, when it leaves your gates wide open to threats veiled in familiarity. And now, my son, you are standing in such a time. This is not a moment to keep your eyes closed. This is the hour to recognize what I have already seen, what my angels have documented, what my spirit has gently been revealing to you in the quiet moments you tried to dismiss. Think back to those nights your spirit stirred without cause, the dreams that unsettled you, the subtle tension in the air during family gatherings, the discomfort you tried to explain away when certain words were spoken or glances exchanged. What you labeled as confusion was really discernment, pure and unfiltered, rising within you before your understanding could catch up. Those were my messages, written in the language of sensitivity, in the stirrings of the spirit that still hears me. I stood at the door of your heart, knocking through inner restlessness, waiting for your spirit to turn toward me. And you did. You asked for clarity, and now I answer. No longer through symbols or silence, but with unmistakable truth. Today I remove the covering. Today I expose what has been quietly unfolding. Not to incite bitterness or retaliation, not to harden your heart, but to equip you with spiritual vision, to prepare you for forward movement anchored in wisdom. Now is the time to walk not in impulse, but in divine precision, to follow the cadence of my spirit, not the rush of your emotions. My light does not come to destroy, it comes to realign, to illuminate the path that leads you back to your rightful place. And today, beloved child, I am realigning you. You are being repositioned, moved back into the space I originally prepared for you, a place the enemy will no longer be able to penetrate. Receive this word not with heaviness, but with hope. Take it not as condemnation, but as confirmation of my protective love. Heaven is speaking for you. Angels are actively shifting what you cannot yet see, and my voice remains true. I am the one who authored the work in you from the beginning. And no force, no history, no emotional tie, no matter how deep or familiar, can obstruct what I have decreed to bring to completion. Today, I am dismantling an invisible barrier that has restrained you for far too long, a structure that formed beneath the surface, camouflaged by your loyalty and emotional investment. This structure wasn't obvious to the natural eye, nor recognized by those near you. It was like a buried root, ancient and subtle, woven through years of emotional obligations, family expectations, and memories painted with affection, yet stained by manipulative alliances. What held you wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. It grew stronger every time you accepted a twisted version of love as truth, every time you mistook manipulation for care and jealousy for protection. That root was sown with seemingly kind words, but carried deep motives. It was watered with silence, masked by gestures that appeared harmless, cloaked in spiritual language, but fueled by a desire to influence and control your direction. On the surface, everything looked peaceful, but heaven saw the hidden strategies. Unseen pacts, spiritual entanglements, were reinforced each time you placed someone else's comfort above my calling on your life. I gave you assignments, spiritual ground to walk on, an inheritance designed for kingdom purpose. But with every moment you hesitated out of fear of confrontation, with every delay made to avoid offending others, you surrendered space meant to be occupied by my light and unknowingly allowed darkness to claim territory that was never its right. You were not formed to remain tethered to things I have already removed from your path. You are not meant to hold together bridges I, myself, am in the process of dismantling. Certain relationships, once sources of blessing, have now become channels of interference. What no longer aligns with my spirit will, in time, uncover its true essence. The light of my presence reveals what has been hidden, not to condemn but to liberate, not to bring shame but to usher in truth and lasting freedom. You have carried the burden of expectations that never came from me. They were demands born of broken hearts, from people who saw your rise and secretly feared losing their grip on your choices. Some of these individuals, yes, even one who shares your blood, struggled to celebrate your transformation, and instead retreated into quiet manipulation, sowing subtle questions about what I've called you to build in reverence and obedience. Their words were veiled, their motives wrapped in kindness, their advice delivered with double edges. It was a war waged without open fire, a quiet campaign against your clarity and conviction. But I have watched, and I have whispered through the stillness. Even in moments when confusion clouded your understanding, I planted fragments of discernment to keep you grounded. On days when emotions were unstable, I steadied you with truths too deep to fully grasp at the time. And though ties of familiarity still tried to redefine love as silent endurance, hear me now. True love does not require you to submit to hidden sabotage. Forgiving is not the same as permitting. Maintaining peace does not mean tolerating what is evil. A spiritual boundary is being drawn now, a sacred separation that flows not from bitterness, but from obedience to my order. This is not a call to natural confrontation, but a summons to take your rightful place in the Spirit. Where once your heart was swayed by emotional manipulation disguised as loyalty, now you will walk with eyes wide open. What once pulled on your conscience will no longer hold sway. The tears you cried in solitude, torn between your instinct to protect and your call to obey, were never overlooked. I gathered each drop as a sacred offering before my throne. Every tear became the seed of a coming season. No more blurred lines, no more wavering. The mantle of divine clarity now resting on your life grants you permission to end what must be ended without shame, to draw lines without hesitation, to choose rightly without questioning if you've missed the mark, for I have already gone before you and settled it. I have opened a door that no hand can shut. I've safeguarded a portion meant only for you, untouched by impure agendas. And though your choices may baffle others, though some will mislabel your boundaries as cold or unfaithful, know this: I, the Lord, will stand as your advocate. No voice of opposition, no human opinion will be able to stop the unveiling of what I have set in motion. What's ahead is just. What's unfolding is divinely sanctioned, and none will be able to claim credit for what I'm about to make visible. Release yourself from the weight of guilt others try to hang on your shoulders. That guilt does not originate from me. That whisper of accusation is not the echo of my spirit. What I declare over you now is liberty, precision, and spiritual calibration. It is the decisive break from every attachment that did not begin in my will. My presence will be your assurance, and what once felt like loss, what seemed shattered when you pulled away from those who dishonored your process, will re-emerge in a pure form. Untainted, unmixed, unclouded. I am moving not only because of what surrounds you, but because of the deep, inner shift that is now complete. A cycle of internal refinement has reached its conclusion, and such completion demands a separation. So my full purpose in you may now emerge. What you once tolerated is now misaligned with the weight of glory I am calling you to carry. This shift involves more than people, it involves realms. There are settings that no longer harmonize with the anointing I've stirred within you. There are interactions and responses that once served you, but now they are incompatible with the new spiritual architecture I am forming in you. You have pressed forward through burdens, through the hush of opposition, through emotional weights that tried to slow your steps. But what I am now anchoring in your life demands spiritual precision. It demands that you advance without hesitation, that you walk forward without requiring affirmation from those who never grasped your essence. There is no longer space for divided hearts or attachments posing as loyalty. The place I am taking you cannot be accessed carrying the weight of unnecessary emotional residue. So do not let voices from yesterday dictate how you obey today. Do not shrink back in fear that others will call you heartless when you are, in truth, answering a divine summons. Understanding is not the requirement I asked for your faithfulness, not for consensus. A shift is already underway, though it may feel as if everything on the outside remains unchanged. That sensation of stillness while your spirit quietly evolves is part of my refining process. I am shaping an inner core within you, a realm of unwavering conviction where my word outweighs every human judgment and outlasts every fleeting opinion. In that sacred space, confusion has no access, for only my voice speaks. It is from that foundation your next moves will emerge: new alignments, deeper connections, divine arrangements. Everything not rooted in this transformation will naturally fade. You don't have to orchestrate the departures or sever the ties. I will bring to pass a divine separation, gentle, yet final. You will begin to notice certain rooms losing their pull, dialogues that once brought comfort now feeling burdensome. You'll find yourself physically present, yet spiritually distant, not from arrogance, but because the spiritual atmosphere no longer matches the call on your life. That quiet dissonance is not rejection, it's preservation. It is a signal that your spirit has been elevated, tuned to a divine frequency where only what echoes eternity remains. The unfamiliar stillness, the inexplicable silence, is confirmation. I am repositioning you. You're not growing colder, you're awakening to a new awareness of what truly carries my breath. This is not emotional fragility, it is heaven-breathed sensitivity. I am sharpening your spiritual discernment. No longer will you see through the filter of past pain or lingering guilt. You will now view through the lens of truth and clarity. I am empowering you to identify without revisiting the ache, to perceive without reopening the wound. You do not need to relive old suffering to confirm what I have already brought into the light. Within you, I have placed the ability to see beyond the surface, to discern the root beneath the fruit. And as my spirit intensifies in your life, you will begin to sense the spiritual weight behind common interactions. What once felt acceptable will now stir discomfort. What you previously defended out of habit, you will now recognize as spiritual distraction. This isn't harshness, it is refined perception. From now on, I will establish a barrier not of isolation, but of divine discernment. It will be an unseen safeguard over your spirit. Not all who journeyed with you will stay beside you, and not all who spoke kindly will be permitted access to your deepest places. But fear not, this is not loss. Every subtraction will lead to divine addition. Every remove of presence will create space for something forged by my hand, pure, untainted, and birthed through obedience. Even if the choices ahead appear extreme to those around you, they are simply the visible echoes of a meticulous, heaven-orchestrated movement. This is not about conflict, it is about clarity. This is not a fracture, it is the healing of a foundation. The path opening before you will be quieter in noise but deeper in spiritual demand. Yet, it will also bear greater fruit, usher in enduring peace, and invite genuine alignment. In this new season, you will come to recognize my voice with heightened accuracy, not out of panic or confusion, but through a calm only I can bestow. It will not hinge on external validation, familial approval, or collective understanding. It will stand firm in the assurance that your feet are on the path I, the Sovereign One, have chosen for you. You no longer need to explain yourself to those who weren't present in your secret place of revelation. What I whispered to your spirit in private now becomes your compass, and that alone is enough. The transformation I'm unfolding within you is not dependent on the perception of those who only see what is visible. What I've been crafting deep inside your spirit is not about surface-level impressions, but about the eternal weight of glory produced through seasons of surrender, quiet endurance, and hidden obedience. Many of your most defining moments were never witnessed by men, only heaven recorded them. The inner sacrifices, the yes you gave me when no one else knew the cost, the nights you chose faith over convenience, these unseen offerings laid the groundwork for the new dimension now manifesting. This season is not rooted in fear of loss, but in the confidence of what heaven has irrevocably spoken over your life. You are no longer required to prop up expired assignments. There is no need to keep pouring your heart into ties that once served purpose, but now hinder movement, not due to malice, but because they are out of sync with heaven's current rhythm for you. Some alignments were bridges but not destinations. Trying to carry them forward becomes weight, not wisdom. I am now opening a way that demands spiritual lightness, a journey that cannot accommodate extra burdens. And this is not solely about individuals, but about thought systems, soul ties to old narratives, and emotional compromises you made to preserve peace while your purpose starved. That inner belief that you had to diminish your presence to avoid disrupting others, that shrinking your shine was humility, I am dismantling that with my truth. Your enlargement is not arrogance, it's your assignment. The expansion I've ordained is not man-made achievement, it is heaven's decree being fulfilled. What will soon radiate from you is not pride, it's the evidence of my hand upon you. Don't water down what I've birthed just to be accepted in rooms where my voice no longer echoes. The shape that once fit now restricts. The vocabulary of past seasons cannot carry the revelation of what I am doing now. I've recalibrated your sound, given you a new tongue, and filled your spirit with a fresh expression of my power. What flows from you next will not mimic the old, it will carry the unmistakable imprint of the divine. Even if others become uneasy or respond with resistance, You are not responsible for reshaping yourself to accommodate their comfort. What they're reacting to is not your attitude, it's the transformation I am producing within you. I'm drawing clear lines, dissolving compromise, and separating what is sacred from what was tolerated. The fire I've placed inside you is doing more than refining your inner being, it's purifying the spaces around you, and that kind of purification always brings disruption. Don't misinterpret the quiet exits or the unexplained distance of those who once stood close. It is not failure, it is confirmation. What you carry now carries weight, and my presence does not allow for mixture. Those who once felt aligned may now feel displaced, not because you've turned your back, but because I've turned the page. The spiritual climate around you has changed, and where there is divine clarity, anything inconsistent with it will begin to fall away, not by your force, but by my order. Listen closely to what I am about to reveal to you now, my beloved child, for your presence here is no accident. This moment was not orchestrated by chance, by fate, or by fleeting curiosity. It hath been divinely arranged. It is my voice calling out to you. I am the Lord your God, the one who intricately formed you in your mother's womb, who understands your every thought, who has numbered every strand of hair on your head. Today, I've arrived to encounter you with a purpose that transcends time. I've carved out this sacred space to deliver a word that won't just shift your life, but will echo into your home, your lineage, and every generation that follows you. I come not with judgment, but with affirmation to lift you, to strengthen you, and to place in your hands a promise that will no longer be postponed. I say to you now, this cannot wait. Not until tomorrow. Not when circumstances align or when you believe you're finally ready. It must be now. For I, the Lord, operate not by your calendar, but by my divine timing. You have waited patiently, walking through seasons of uncertainty, clinging to faith when clarity was nowhere in sight. I've witnessed your silent prayers behind closed doors, your tears shed in solitude, the cries you buried deep within where no one else could hear. And I want you to know none of it has been overlooked. Not a single tear has escaped my attention. Every quiet plea has been gathered, every hidden groan has reached my throne. And now I come bearing your answer. I, the Lord, will make you exceedingly rich, not merely in wealth, but in peace, discernment, favor, spiritual strength, and lasting joy. Yet I will also touch your finances in a visible, undeniable way. I will extend financial blessing to your entire household. I will shatter the chains of scarcity. I will lift the weight of debt, and I will destroy generational strongholds that have tried to choke your provision. This word is for you, not for someone else, not for a distant future. It is for this moment, and it is yours. This message is not meant for someone else. It is meant specifically for you, the one reading these words right now. You, who silently wonder if this could possibly be true, if it's really possible that God has remembered you. I assure you, I have never forgotten you. Your name is written in my memory. I have watched your journey from the very start. I've seen every sacrifice made in secret, every quiet act of faith, every time you chose to trust me despite the chaos surrounding you. Your background does not limit me. It's not your last name, your education, your upbringing, your financial standing, or your past missteps that dictate the magnitude of the blessing I'm releasing over your life. What matters is your faith. And I have seen that even under pressure, you still believe. Even in uncertainty, you keep holding on to my word. You still pursue my presence, even when the answers seem delayed. At faith, that persistence moves me. That's what activates my hand. That's all I need to open the heavens over you. My child, this is a pivotal moment, a divine appointment. Do not dismiss what you're hearing in your spirit right now, for this could be the final opportunity to take hold of what I've designed for you in this particular season. Not because I want to withhold anything from you, but because certain windows of grace are only open for a set time. You are standing before one right now. If you will listen to my voice, if you will believe and surrender, I will show you what others only dream about. Because nothing is impossible for the one who believes. It's no coincidence that this message is stirring something deep within you. I orchestrated events both seen and unseen to guide you to this exact moment. This is not random. This is not chance. Today, I speak not as a far-off whisper, but as a father who longs to be close, as a king who is summoning you, as a faithful God who has never turned his eyes away from you, not for a second. Listen closely, my beloved child, for I do not speak to you as one far away or unknown. I speak as your Father, your Maker, your everlasting source. I am the one who remained when others walked away, the one who lifted you when you thought it was over. I've watched your daily battles, the silent war within, your determination to cling to faith even when everything around you told you to give up. And now, I speak directly and unmistakably to your heart. I am the God who keeps every promise. You didn't arrive at this moment by chance. This isn't just a video you stumbled upon or a message that sounds encouraging. This is a divine appointment, a sacred intersection between your life and my voice. I am the Lord your God, the one who split seas in two, who sustained the prophet with supernatural provision, who restores the crushed and heals the weary. Why would you think I've changed? Why would you believe your struggles are too much for me? I am still the same, yesterday, today, and forever, and this time, I'm moving on your behalf. You were not brought through the fire just to stay stuck in survival mode. I haven't led you this far for you to remain in fear, counting pennies, and drowning in anxiety. This is your moment to step into overflow. Now is the time when my favor begins to unlock the doors, when your tears are transformed into a harvest, when what once seemed buried starts to bloom, not just in finances, but in lasting peace, enduring joy, and spiritual boldness. I do not tease with empty hope. I do not stir your spirit just for emotion. When I speak, it is truth, and my word stands forever. This is the time for you to rise, to be above and not beneath, to walk in purpose, no longer overlooked or dismissed. I am shifting you into a new place, both spiritually and financially, and doing so where others can see the goodness of my hand upon your life. But remember this, child, there is one thing I require from you. Trust me. Even when it defies logic, when the figures don't make sense, when your surroundings scream doubt, choose to believe. Because faith is what unlocks the treasure of heaven. You don't have to figure it all out, you just have to trust that I will. Because as you worship me, as you honor me through your daily choices, as you walk in obedience even without seeing the full harvest yet, I am moving powerfully behind the scenes. I'm working where your eyes cannot reach. I'm stirring hearts in rooms you cannot enter, unlocking opportunities that were concealed, releasing provision that was delayed by forces you couldn't fight, but that bow to my authority. I'm breaking through barriers, releasing financial breakthroughs, aligning people, resources, divine contracts, strategic doors, and partnerships, all orchestrated in ways you never imagined. Even tonight, while you sleep, I am preparing a miracle with your name on it. You don't need to make it happen in your own strength. I am arranging every detail. I will respond to your prayers, even those whispered through tears when words failed you. I will supply your needs in ways that reflect my glory and power, for I am Jehovah Jireh, your unfailing provider. I've never lost control. You thought you were unseen, unheard, but I was always there. And now, you will witness how the hope you carried in faith will manifest in fullness. I need you to hear this with certainty. Your arrival at this moment is no coincidence. You didn't stumble into this message. You were led by my Spirit on this day, at this very hour, to receive this word. Every detail, every second, every step was divinely ordered to bring you here, because I knew what your heart needed. I have heard the silent cries of your soul. I see your weariness, your exhaustion from striving, and today I say to you, lay it down and rest in me. I am your defender. I am the one who makes a way where logic says there is none. I will cause rivers to flow in your desert, proving that my faithfulness is far greater than every closed door or failed plan. I am the everlasting God, unchanged by time or trends, unshaken by chaos. While people may falter, while seasons shift and hearts grow distant, I remain constant. I remain supreme. My word never fails. Every promise I declared over your life even before the foundation of the world still lives. I have spoken favor, and it will reach you. I have decreed abundance, and it will break through. I have announced victory, and nothing can cancel what I, the Lord, have spoken into being. Many walked beside you, yet never truly grasped the weight you carried. Some celebrated your beginning but distanced themselves during your process. Others witnessed your missteps and quietly disqualified you. But I never turned away. I never walked out on you. Every painful stride you took, I was there. Every morning you rose without strength, but still chose to keep going. Heaven took notice. And now I come to honor your endurance, for I am a just God, and my eyes remain fixed on those who keep trusting me even when everything around them suggests they shouldn't. You have withstood contrary winds, endured the heaviness of doubt, betrayal's sting, and the silence of days where no answers came, when every door seemed to shut and hope felt like a distant echo. But hear me clearly today, not one moment of it was wasted. Every tear you shed had been collected, every hardship carefully counted. I do not allow suffering without purpose. I transform all things for your good, even what the enemy intended for your downfall. My power is boundless, and my ways surpass your understanding. I am the one who brings rivers through barren lands, who resurrects what was presumed lifeless. What I began in you, I will complete. I did not carry you through storm after storm just to leave you in the middle. I upheld you for a reason, and that reason is unfolding now. I've been active in the silence, preparing, lining, cultivating. My quiet was never absence, it was divine setup. I was tilling the soil of your spirit, refining your character, training your ears to discern my voice without confusion. This is the appointed time when the unseen takes shape, when long-awaited promises begin to emerge. The doors that once defied you, I myself am unlocking them. I've dispatched angels with specific assignments. I've moved on the hearts of those in position to bless you. Delayed provision is now being released. Hidden riches are coming into view. Territories once beyond reach are being transferred. Inheritances once thought lost are being restored, for I am sovereign over all creation, from the highest heaven to the deepest place, and nothing is beyond my command. I have chosen to rewrite your story not because of anything you've earned, not by human effort or worthiness, but by my grace, because I desire to reveal my glory through your life. I want those who witness what I'm about to do to know beyond a doubt that it wasn't your strength, your skills, or your network that brought it to pass. It was my powerful hand alone. What I'm preparing to unleash will not be average, will not be hidden, and will not be overlooked. It will be remarkable and undeniable. This is the place where your obedience converges with divine timing. I have called you to trust me even when everything around you appears to say otherwise. Trust me when your finances make no sense, when reports are grim, when answers seem long overdue. Faith doesn't wait for certainty. Faith is birthed in uncertainty and thrives when nothing seems possible. And when you walk in that faith, I am moving supernaturally on your behalf. I'm rearranging what once seemed immovable. I'm opening pathways you assumed were closed forever. As you continue to walk in reverence, following the course I've designed, I am shifting the unseen. You may not see it now, but I am already acting. I have made eternal covenants with you, and I do not waver. I do not alter my promises. I do not withdraw my word. If I declared it, it will come to pass. And if I vowed to bring abundance, breakthrough, restoration, and dignity into your life, then so it will be. There are manifestations already taking shape in the spiritual realm. Delayed blessings, once restrained, are now being released. Generational chains that plague your family line are being severed by my authority. I'm restoring what the enemy stole and elevating your name, not for self-glory, but to magnify my unwavering faithfulness. I'm making all things new, for the fullness of time has come. Even while you sleep, I am orchestrating victories. Even in your stillness, I am conquering battles on your behalf. Nothing you placed in my care hath been forgotten. Everything will be returned, not the same, but multiplied. And when my work is revealed, you will see that every tear, every test, every moment of delay carried purpose. Long before you ever took your first breath, I knew your steps. Not a second of your life is hidden from me. Every detail of your journey is known, and I am redeeming it all. I have observed every step you've taken, every thought that passed through your mind, and every hidden desire nestled deep in your heart. My gaze has never left you, not even for a moment, even when you couldn't sense me near. A moment of your life has escaped my attention. Every choice, every misstep, every brave attempt to continue despite exhaustion, I have watched them all with love, with grace, and with a purpose that stretches beyond what you can see. I permitted certain seasons and processes you didn't comprehend, not because I withdrew, but because I was crafting something profound within you that could only be shaped in the fire of difficulty. Where you saw failure, I saw a foundation. Where you experienced delay, I was forging strength. It was never punishment, it was always preparation. While you thought life was standing still, I was erecting unseen structures, building a strong foundation to uphold the weight of what is about to be poured over your life. My plan does not reverse. My will does not collapse under human error when a heart is truly surrendered to me. Even your most painful failures and deepest mistakes cannot dismantle the original blueprint I created for you, because I do not depend on your perfection to fulfill my promises, only on the posture of your heart. And I have witnessed that posture in you. I saw that even when despair knocked hard, something within you chose to keep a flicker of faith alive. That flicker was enough. That small ember of belief was the seed I needed to act. Now I have released a new season upon you, a season where what was long held back will gain momentum. What once felt immovable will now shift with clarity. I do more than just make a way, I establish your steps upon it. You won't go in circles anymore. The same obstacles will not trip you again. I am restoring your sight. I am awakening your spiritual senses to discern my movement with greater precision and purpose. I will train you to discern the right moments, to know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to advance and when to wait. You will no longer be swayed by fleeting emotions, but guided by my divine wisdom. I will prepare you to manage what's coming, for the blessing I am releasing is not ordinary, it carries sacred weight. This is not just abundance for your enjoyment, but a divine trust meant to multiply, to serve, to flow through you as a vessel and not stop within you as a reservoir. I will involve you in assignments that illuminate places of darkness. I will uncover specific needs and place the resources in your hands to meet them. You will be a solution, just as I have been your solution time and again. I am also purifying the space around you. Certain voices will go quiet, and some influences will be removed, not out of rejection, but as divine shielding. Not every connection can remain, because some are not equipped to handle the level of grace and responsibility I am about to bestow on you. Do not cling to what I am removing. Do not resist the necessary shift. Each change I permit is part of a consecrated transition into something far greater than what you've known. What appears to be loss is simply a precursor to gain. Don't fear the changes, they are the proof that I am at work. Don't be disheartened by what remains unseen, for my presence doesn't have to be visible to be powerfully active. I build with depth, never on shallow ground. Everything I'm sending your way will be rooted, grounded, and saturated in eternal significance. Even if you don't yet comprehend why your path has turned in unexpected ways, a day will come when you'll say with full assurance, "It was needed, and it was for the best." And no trial has ever separated you from my love, no matter how fierce the battle, how loud the accusation, or how dark the night. I have always been near. I am working even now, and I will perform my word so distinctly that neither you nor those around you will credit it to anyone or anything else. All glory will be mine. Every detail will point back to me, a clear testimony that my promises are fulfilled in those who walk with me, not perfectly, not fearlessly, but with honest, surrendered hearts. What I am imparting into you in this season demands a transformed mindset. If you continue to think as you once did, you will unknowingly place limits on what I am now ready to release. That is why I am dismantling outdated mental patterns and removing inner structures that once served you but no longer align with where I am taking you. To embrace the new, you must let go of the old. Do not try to squeeze my plans into familiar frameworks. Don't compare this moment to what has been. Nothing will look the same, not your identity, not your environment, not the path ahead. I am doing a complete renewal, and when I renew, I go deep straight to the root. Don't mourn what I've removed. Instead, lift your eyes with hope, because what is approaching is exactly what I've intended for you all along. I'm not just giving you what you wished for, I'm giving you what your soul has truly needed. And I'm not doing it according to your ability or past performance, but according to the unmeasurable riches of my grace. I have watched every moment you felt invisible in a world that praises only the loudest. I've seen you question your worth, doubt the power of what I've placed inside you, and wonder if your voice even matters. I know the internal struggles that have tried to reduce your sense of purpose. You've battled whispers that told you you're not enough, but hear me clearly, I do not make errors. Everything I placed within you was intentional, carefully planted for eternal purpose. Not one dream, not one talent, not one pure desire in your heart escaped my design. The world looks for status, spotlight, and applause, but I search for authenticity, for the heart that beats in quiet obedience. I honor what is built in hidden places, what is birthed in surrender, what draws heaven's attention without needing human praise. I've entrusted you with something meant to influence generations, a divine blueprint that cannot be imitated or replaced. My fingerprint is uniquely stamped on your life. And now is the time to walk in that truth, not with pride, but with clarity of identity. Because what I'm stirring in you is far from small, and it demands that you step forward with the boldness of someone who knows who they are in me. You can no longer wait for validation to take your next step. You won't always be understood, and that's okay. Some journeys are between us alone. Some instructions were given specifically to you, and that's where your trust must remain. Even if many don't grasp the direction you're taking, know this: I am the one supporting you, validating your steps, and strengthening you with every act of obedience. Even when it feels isolating, even when your journey flows against the tide, I am with you. This path isn't about being understood by the masses. It's about walking in purpose. It's not about applause or visibility. It's about standing for truth. I am awakening within you a deeper level of discernment. Soon you will begin to perceive far beyond what's visible, gaining insight into situations that once left you uncertain, not to elevate yourself, but to equip you to pray with precision. Not for pride, but for wisdom. I will open your eyes to the unseen, reveal hidden motives, and place words in your mouth that will speak life into desolate places, bring clarity where there's confusion, and shine light into the shadows. And you'll recognize that none of it is from your own strength. It's my Spirit working powerfully through you. Don't be afraid of the unfamiliar. What I'm calling you into requires not only boldness, but also surrender. It will ask you to release old patterns, past strategies, and familiar behaviors that no longer fit the new season, not because they were bad, but because their purpose has been fulfilled. I move in seasons, and what begins now is unlike anything you've walked in before. The methods of your past were necessary then, but they will not serve you here. I am giving you fresh spiritual tools, new discernment, inspired vision, and strategies birthed from my divine wisdom. There's a divine acceleration unfolding around you. What once felt out of reach will now come swiftly. Breakthroughs that seemed years away will bloom in just months, not because I have changed, but because you have been made ready. You've been through the fire, and it has refined your focus. Now your heart is anchored in what matters most. You no longer chase what fades, you hunger for what lasts. And to those who pursue me in spirit and truth, I reveal myself more deeply. I withhold nothing from the seeking heart. This is your moment to walk not by the affirmation of others, but by the assurance of my presence, as I take you into realms of purpose and glory you once only dreamed of. Do not let what has happened before set the standard for what is to come. Don't let yesterday's pain put limits on today's possibilities. I am not only the God of fresh starts, I am the God of restoration, redemption, and relentless grace. I never tire of reaching out. I never withhold my help when you seek me with an open heart. Even if you feel you've wasted seasons or lost irreplaceable time, know this: I redeem time. I can accomplish in a moment what would otherwise take years. I restore what was consumed by delay, devoured by despair, and stolen through confusion or misdirection. I am orchestrating divine relationships not by human striving, but through my design. These connections will be pure and purposeful individuals with hearts in alignment, integrity in their character, and a vision that strengthens the one I placed inside you. They will not compete with you, but will complement your calling. They will not diminish who you are, but will honor what I've placed in you. For this work I'm doing is not about building in isolation, but about forming a body anointed, interconnected, and destined to advance together. The fear that has silently controlled your choices is being dismantled. Its grip is breaking. The voices that seeded insecurity in your youth are being silenced. The lies about your worth are being uprooted, and in their place, I am covering you with truth. And truth doesn't just liberate anchors. I am establishing you in identity, strengthening you in purpose, and giving you clarity and direction. The days of confusion and uncertainty are ending. You will walk with confidence, knowing I am backing each step. Everything I have shown you isn't just a hopeful glimpse, it's a divine confirmation. What I began in you, I will bring to full completion. What I spoke, I will manifest. Not because of how deserving you are, but because of how faithful I am. I was present in every season of silence, in the heartbreaks, in the collapses you didn't see coming. I saw your sincere efforts fall apart, your dreams vanish without reason. And even when you didn't understand why the plan unraveled, I was there, not absent, not indifferent, but preserving purpose in the midst of what felt like loss. What you once thought was devastation was, in truth, my unseen protection. I diverted you from roads that would have drained your spirit and dimmed your light. I allowed certain doors to remain shut, not to deprive you, but to safeguard you from places that bore no lasting fruit. Though it may have felt like rejection, it was really my love in action, covering you, shielding you from what you couldn't yet perceive. I allowed limitations not as a form of punishment, but as preservation. Because not every shining opportunity is divine, and not every appealing path is aligned with purpose. Some directions only lead to distraction. Some open doors carry more emptiness than promise. That's why I stepped in and didn't let certain dreams come to pass, not because they weren't noble, but because they weren't mine. And anything not born of me cannot carry the endurance of eternity. My plans are not temporary, they are intentional, flawless, unshakable, and deeply rooted in truth. I do not create by chance, I build with divine strategy. I never improvise. I orchestrate with purpose and foresight. Every moment in your journey, even the ones that seemed like failure, have been woven into the masterpiece I've always had in mind for you. What felt like detours were in fact redirections. What seemed like delays were strategic pauses. You didn't lose time, you were being positioned. I've been with you at every turn, using even the seasons of silence to prepare something greater than what you originally imagined. What appeared to fall apart was not the end, it was me clearing the way for what is lasting, true, and specifically crafted for your calling. And now, as the pieces begin to align, you will see that nothing was wasted, and everything had a place in the story I've written just for you.